When was the last time you played a game that you really got hooked into? I'm talking about something that keeps you up late grinding levels or farming for an item. Everyone has different games that they lose hours to. I've done it with Borderlands back in the day, to now when I grinded out ranks in Apex. There's something special about a game that makes you want to learn more. But it goes beyond that feeling of wanting to be the best. If you ever had that experience of scrolling through forum posts, you know what I'm talking about. The communities for these games are completely unique when you compare them. Back in the day, you would find me scrolling through posts talking about roguelikes and the intricacies of them, whereas nowadays, I'm searching through posts from 2008, trying to decide which spec to play in WoW. There was something more than the game that you could be a part of. When I grew up, I loved games that had cheat codes. It always felt like a fun secret for whatever I played. I'd rush home from school and look up cheats for whatever I was playing. This was a time of big head mode or playing as a character in Gauntlet that was hidden. Cheats were all about the secrets devs left for you to find, unlike nowadays where most games either don't have cheats at all or they're a part of DLC. These aren't the cheats that people think of nowadays. You weren't putting in a code and magically getting aimbot. Back then, I was going through GameFAQs all the time. People would share tricks to unlock different items or explain how to duplicate eggs in Resident Evil. GameFAQs was the place you would go to when you couldn't figure out something in a game. Now you might be wondering why I'm so focused on these forums from back in the day. And I wish I could tell you I had a specific reason, but at the end of the day, I don't think there was one specific thing about them. It was just a place for people who really cared about these games to talk to each other. I'm still on the Burning Crusade train, and while I've been playing my Warlock, I had to focus on getting different talents and gear set up. My brother had linked me to a post from an old forum, and I realized something after I looked at it. This game got me looking at a post from 2008 on the Wayback Machine. These posts were from 13 years ago that I'm looking at today. I'm 23 years old, and back in 2008, I had no clue what spell hit or a socket was. The community for these games might change, but these posts are a time capsule from back then. It's a look back into who was playing the game back in the day, and the different guilds that were competitive at the time. Games are still one of the newest forms of art and entertainment. When you look at it compared to other mediums, movies and TV have been around since the late 1800s, while games only came about in the 60s. The real difference between each of them really comes down to the internet. The artists and filmmakers that worked on those movies back in the day weren't able to see just how many people enjoyed them. Games exploded in popularity right before the internet took off, and that's why so many people grew up with nostalgia for them. I know I talk about communities a lot in these videos, whether that's talking about how they play a part in making a game unique or how they can scare someone off. But that's because without them, there wouldn't be any press conferences like E3. There wouldn't be group chats with friends in Discord, talking about updates to games like Ark or the new FromSoft games. Community is the reason any of these mediums are able to exist. I remember when everything started happening last year, I heard people talk about how important artists were. There's a stigma to the art community, and being in film, there was a lot of uncertainty as to what would happen. People love to perpetuate the starving artist. You chose to work in a creative field, so you should be comfortable not getting paid. When in actuality, those are the same people that will come home from work and turn on Netflix to watch whatever is trending on Twitter. The communities that support these different mediums are the lifeblood of them. Without passionate people like you, there wouldn't be as many options for things like games or shows. That's what I realized when I was scrolling through that forum the other night. These communities are here because the people who care about these games wanted to support them. You can still go onto Google and search for a guide for a game from your childhood, and there will be a forum post or a tutorial on YouTube explaining how to do it. People turn to them when they need a way to unwind and escape from the realities of what's going on in the world. Without the communities that support these games and different hobbies, the world would become a lot more boring. But with them, they offer a way for you to join a group of people with a common interest, and that's something that can't be replaced. And as we come back to a sense of normalcy where people can go to events again, we're starting to see everyone that joined these communities. Games are more than a way to spend a rainy day. They're a medium for people to meet one another just like any other hobby. And looking at a forum from back in the day is a gentle reminder at just how big these things have become. Sorry this video is short this week. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on with some of my buddies who graduated and doing some stuff with them. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to next week. I have something kind of different but special that I'm super excited to share with you guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.
Like I should,